What it do, what it do, what it do, Happen J family. Welcome back to the channel, baby.
Yes.
It's your boy Half.
And your girl Jay.
And we back with another reaction video. All right, y'all. So y'all keep asking for it, so we'll keep on delivering it to y'all because, like I said before, you guys are our boss and we are the employees. You feel me? We work for y'all.
Yes, we do.
So, with that being said, why don't you go ahead and let the family Damn, Hal, listen, what time is it, man? You know, it's still kind of early. That's why you still stumbling over your words, so we get it. But anyway, why don't you go ahead and let the family know who we're going to react to?
We are reacting to Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
And the segment is, do you think a trans woman is a woman?
Pretty interesting topic.
Touchy topic.
Very touchy. So, go ahead and get the kids out the room. All your sensitive people also, go ahead and go find another channel to go watch real quick. Because this is, like she said, one of the touchy topics. So, we don't want nobody catching feelings and all that because it's nothing but opinions. That's it. Okay? All right. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the reaction. But before we do,
everybody out there who has not yet subscribed to the channel,
come up top, bam, don't hit it in the head.
Before Jay gets mad.
There you go. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
Turn your post notifications on.
Yes.
Like and share this video.
Yes.
And comment down below, baby.
Down below.
Come and join the squad, man. Half and Jay. We already kicking off what? Good vibes, baby. Good vibes. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Chicka, chicka, chicka. All right, here we go.
Okay.
A little remix.
I see.
You did. Let's get it up, baby. Damn. Calmly, though.
One of our guests of the day, the other one today, is a man you may recognise, or maybe you don't. Jordan Peterson has achieved that rare feat, becoming a global superstar academic. So how did he become so well known? He first came to national prominence in Canada in 2016 in a debate about new laws on gender identity. Bill C-16 made it an offence to refuse to call someone by their chosen gender pronoun. Jordan Peterson argued that this would infringe free speech, while some supporters of the bill said he was advocating prejudice. From there, his YouTube star took off, and he has now over 1 million subscribers. And his videos, where he talks everything from identity politics, which we've touched on, to the Bible, to Disney movies, have been viewed over 150 million times. Gosh, that's about the same number of views we have on this programme. Last year, he supported ex-Google employee...
What's she trying to... what was all that about? Like...
Comparison?
Like, be cocky or something? Like, oh, we got that on our channel too. Like, nigga, so what? Shit, he started in 2016, though. When you started? 2006? Nigga, like, look out of here. That's what I was going to put anyway.
Gosh, that's about the same number of views we have on this programme. Last year, he supported ex-Google employee James Damore, who had been fired for suggesting men and women have different interests due to biological differences. And his latest book, 12 Rules for Life, has taken him on a global tour promoting his ideas. And just this week, he sold out the 1,000-seater Emmanuel Centre around the corner here in Westminster. So Jordan, you've done endless interviews. You've been publicising your book, and they've generated plenty of heated debate.
And I actually saw.
Hey, I know in his head he just ready.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, come on, bring it on. You feel me? I can just look at how he's looking at her like, yeah, nigga.
And he chooses his words carefully.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
You feel me? He listened to exactly what you said too.
So you've been publicising your book, and they've generated plenty of heated debate.
And I actually sold out the Apollo. It had 5,000 seats.
All right, stop boasting.
See what I'm saying? He corrects him and everything. Like, excuse me, it was 5,000 seats, not 1,000. It was 4,000 off, baby girl. That's a huge number now. You know what I mean? Let's get it right. Let's get this shit right. You feel me?
Oh my goodness, man.
Plenty of heated debate.
And I actually sold out the Apollo. It had 5,000 seats.
All right, stop boasting. Do you think, though, because of the heat that has been generated, that your views have been misrepresented at times?
Oh, definitely, but that's, that's part and parcel of the process. I did take a very forceful stance, let's say, against some of the excesses of the radical left-wingers, and it's in their best interest to paint me as somehow a figure of the extreme right, because then I don't have to be contended with. But, I mean, it's easy for people's views to be oversimplified in a very large public debate.
I mean, in terms of some of the issues, I mean, you say you've been painted as an extreme right-winger.
Well, some people have tried that. Not very successfully, but they've tried it.
And you came to prominence in part over your opposition to this law that we just talked about in Canada, proposing the use of preferred pronouns for transgender people. Just for
mandating them.
Yeah.
Right.
Saying that you should do it.
No, but you had to do it.
Right, you had to do it by law. But just for clarity, do you think a trans woman is a real woman?
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. Now, I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well, I'm asking you, in your mind, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No.
Why not?
Because I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome, and I think the biological markers are relevant. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't think that people should be treated with respect and dignity if they happen not to fit easily into a gender category. That's a different issue.
Right.
But it's a matter of definition, and I actually think it's a foolish argument in some sense, because what do you mean by real?
Well, I mean, you've just clarified that.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, Jordan Peterson, he's a savage, man.
But that's the truth.
That's the 100% facts, though. That's 100% facts. Like, and like he said, no disrespect to none of them out there.
Right.
But a woman is a woman. You feel what I'm saying? You guys come with women things that's already built inside of you naturally. You follow what I'm saying? So that's all he's basically saying. You feel me?
You don't think that a trans woman is a woman, and do you think that is what is behind or explains your opposition to this idea of a law mandating you to use a preferred pronoun, is because you don't actually believe that that's the truth, that a trans woman is a woman and therefore you can't use that pronoun?
No, that's not my argument at
Really?
all. Yeah, really. My argument is that the government shouldn't compel voluntary speech.
No, but I know what your argument is, and
No,
you've
but
made
that's
it very
really
clearly.
it. But that's exactly it. There's
the
no
motivation
There's
behind
no motivation behind it.
But you don't believe
I wouldn't
a trans
put
woman is a woman.
everything on my online in my life to take the stance I did unless I had thought that through very deeply. And I've thought it through very deeply. There aren't hidden motivations that have to do with some arbitrary prejudice against trans people.
Okay.
It's pure and simply this. There's never been a time in English common law history where the government compelled speech, and the Canadian government dared to do that. And that was unacceptable. And they masked it with this show of compassion for the oppressed, and I don't buy it.
Right, but you would, as I think you've said, at an individual level, if somebody asked you, somebody asked you to use a particular pronoun, you would do so.
Well, I have.
You have?
Yes.
Right, fine.
Yes.
Let's talk about feminism. Are you a feminist?
No, not as it's currently defined, certainly not.
No, well, in any other definition?
Well, I think that anybody who doesn't think that the competitive landscape should be opened up for equality of opportunity is not thinking. And so everyone's interests are better served if people have as equal access to opportunity to display their talents and to manifest their talents in the world as possible. So in that sense, certainly. But feminism now, and this is why it's so deeply unpopular, a very small minority of women in the UK identify as feminists. And the reason for that is it's primarily become an ideological weapon. And it's an ideology that I detest, actually, the ideology that it's associated with, collectivist ideology.
Right, I mean, okay, and that's your view about feminism. Aisha, are you a feminist?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a very proud feminist, and when I was a special advisor in government, I worked on women and equality issues, and I'm very proud actually of a piece of legislation I got on the statute book with my former boss Harriet Harman, the Equality Act, in 2010, which strengthened our anti-discrimination laws. And I fought very hard to get more women into public life, into the Labour Party, and I'm very, very proud of being a feminist. Hence my pink dress.
Oh well, all right. Obviously reverting to type then.
Absolutely.
In the pink dress.
Well.
You would like men to regain or reclaim their strength physically, mentally and morally. Is that broadly correct?
I would say morally, fundamentally, but I think the other things go along with that.
Right, and if that...
But it isn't men precisely who I'm speaking to. It's people. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm actually interested in individuals, and I'm interested in their fortification against tragedy. You know, every time I do an interview, the interview is always political. It's always political.
Well, the clue is in the title of this programme. We are the Daily Politics.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. And I'm not casting aspersions at this programme, but the fundamental news that's important about what I'm doing isn't the political element. And the people who talk to me don't talk politically. They say they've watched my lectures.
But part of it is that I think for a lot of people the kind of personal does become the political.
Or the political becomes the personal.
Yeah, and I think in terms of
in this situation, a lot of people are wrong, because primarily what's happening is people are watching my lectures, and as a consequence, their lives are improving dramatically.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure people are like, I've had a huge conversion after, and they're much happier once they've been.
Conversion.
But what I would like to do is kind of almost. I think at the moment the discussion about feminism is very divisive, and sometimes it can sort of be like, okay, men have to lose and women have to gain. Actually, everybody has a lot to gain by greater equality. Now, whether you get the equality of outcome that you want, I think only time will tell. But certainly, equality of opportunity is very important. And actually, a lot of men would benefit from that. So I think a lot of men are having a lot of crises at the moment in terms of mental health, suicide issues, their own sense of identity. Because I think some of the stereotypes put on men are quite limiting for them as well. I think they make men quite unhappy as well.
The devil's in the details with regards to equality, because I'm an advocate of equality of opportunity. But
and
I think the idea outcomes, that's an appalling doctrine.
Why?
All right. Well,
because you have to produce an unbelievably potent bureaucracy to make the ever greater and ever finer distinctions that are necessary to enforce equality of outcome. How many group differences are you going to equalize across? Is it just gender and sex? How many genders?
No,
gender and ethnicity? How many genders? How many ethnicities? How many races?
We'll let Aisha answer.
I think what people are trying to do with this, and certainly as somebody who has looked to sort of do this myself, I think you set yourself ambitions for what you would like to see, and then you try and remove as many of the structural barriers and obstacles. So you try and create that fair crack of the whip and that equality of opportunity to see where you get to with the outcomes.
That's
now,
fine.
We are in very early stages. It's only 100 years since women got the vote in this country. We have had a long established patriarchal society and set up for a long time in the world, in this country. So I think we have a long way to go to see where it plays out. There is no country in the world where we really do have gender equality properly yet in terms of real decision making and real
some of the
power.
Scandinavian countries maybe.
They're still not quite there, and I think you've spoken a lot about this. There's still a way to go in Scandinavia. Things are not perfect in Scandinavia.
I haven't spoken about that specifically. I've spoken about.
You spoke about the right stuff yesterday. I talked about the Scandinavian.
Well, I've spoken about the fact that. See, one of the things that's happened in the analysis of the differences between men and women is that the social constructionist claim is that the differences are socially constructed, right? Is that it's a consequence of environment that men and women differ. But what the scientific literature indicates is that as cultures become more egalitarian, like they have in Scandinavia, the differences between men and women actually increase rather than decreasing, which is a direct repost to the social constructionist view. So they just deny all that. The biggest differences in the world in interest and temperament are between Scandinavian men and women. It's exactly the opposite of what everyone predicted.
Can I just pick up on one thing you said a little earlier in the interview, which you said it's the moral guidance that you are focused on. You think that is particularly important. How do you square that with the behaviour of perhaps arguably, a prominent alpha male president of the United States, Donald Trump? When his behaviour, he is accused of having an affair with a porn star when his wife was pregnant. How does that fit with morally reclaiming?
I would say that was rather clearly immoral.
Right.
Yeah,
but you would still,
not to be a target for emulation.
But you still would have voted for him over
Well, to
Hillary
be fair,
Clinton
those-
as
to be
an
fair, those-
identity politics. I mean, it's just how
None
do
of that
you
was on the
look at it?
table, and I said I might have voted for him on a whim. That's
But you
all.
also did say you started out feeling quite close to Hillary Clinton. Can I just come
Yeah.
on the
Very quickly, 'cause
just
we've got to
quickly.
move on.
In a way,
We've got
I
to
don't
get to your
really,
book.
I don't care what Trump does in terms of his private life, but
Sure.
what I don't have is him stopping or potentially stopping other women having agency over their reproductive rights, and lots of men taking those decisions.
It's
for
all
example.
about where the moral outrage lies and what's more morally outrageous in people's eyes. Is it his behaviour or the identity politics for you on the... Anyway, we'll have to discuss this another time.
So what you think? No comment?
Like I said, I would. I definitely respect the individual for who they are. You know, respect, they're going to gain my respect once it's, you know, if it's given to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to judge anyone for what they decided to do with their life.
So you would think a trans woman is a woman then?
I mean, biologically, no. I biologically, no.
Right.
Because they weren't born
Right. Woman.
a woman, yeah.
Right.
But, you know, I would still respect the fact that, you know, and I have used the pronoun, you know, with a transgender person before. I've called her a her, and, you know, I've done that.
Okay.
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
What do you think? What are your thoughts? How do you feel?
I'm kind of like kind of like what you saying. Like I would respect their transition that they did. You know, as far as going from a man to a woman, because that's their business. We live in a free country. That's the way that you want to express yourself. That's your business. But like kind of like what you say, like you wasn't born a woman though. You understand what I'm saying? I respect the fact that you did what you did because that's what you wanted to do. That's what you felt in your heart that you wanted to do. So I respect that. You understand what I'm saying? But I can't 100% look at you like a woman though. You follow what I'm saying? Because I know you wasn't born that way. You follow what I'm saying? Like I can't look at you 100% that way, but I'm gonna respect you 100%. You follow what I'm saying? I'm gonna 100% respect you, but I cannot look at you that way 100% because I know that you was a man before. You follow what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things. You know, and like I say, it's a topic that is very touchy. You know what I'm saying? Because some people feel some way, and another group of people gonna feel a certain type of way.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's just the way the world is made.
We are not all going to agree.
At all. You know what I'm saying? But the world that we live in now is more accepting of it than 15, 20, 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 30 years ago. You know, 25, 30 years ago, you know, I don't think even if people did accept it, they wouldn't be coming forward with it. You follow what I'm saying? Because it was so many people eclipsing the people who maybe felt like it was cool. You follow what I'm saying? Like 30 years ago, probably the majority of the world was like, oh nah, like they turned their shoulder towards that.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But now, in this day and age we live in now, people are more accepting of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the world that we're living in. That's the direction that we're going. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned the little baby thing, how they're being called babies. You know, to give them a choice whether they want to be, you know, a boy or a girl type of thing, or you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's just the world that we're living in today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as humans, we're naturally adapting to things. That's what we do as humans. We adapt naturally. You know, they always say if you don't adapt, you won't survive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
And I was raised in a Christian household,
myself included.
so I'm not going to be overly judgmental and
Right.
bashing and,
Right.
you know, that, like I said, is solely that individual's choice, and I have to respect that. I you know, I'm not here to be overly judgmental.
Right. 'Cause I don't want nobody
Put
judging
someone
me.
down. Right.
So, who am I to be judging somebody else if I don't want them judging me for whatever? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, so, but, you know, y'all let us know what y'all think about it, what y'all feelings are, what y'all opinions are on it. Do y'all feel trans women is women? You know what I'm saying? Leave the comments down below. Let's talk about it. Let's open up a conversation. And if y'all want some more of these commentaries, y'all go ahead and leave the links down in the description below, and we'll take a look at them. You know, and let's get into some shout out.
Okay. First, shout out goes to James. That's who. What's up, James? That's who.
James, that's who. What's going on with you, man? Shout out to you.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed that commentary. Jordan Peterson. You know, this open conversation. You know, if you did, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. And come back and join us for some more.
And second shout out goes to Angela Mulford. What's up, Angela Mulford?
Angela Mulford, what's going on with you? Shout out to you.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Thank
being part
you.
of the family.
Yes.
And you also let us know what you think about this Jordan Peterson little commentary, little segment here. And give your opinion also.
Yes.
You know, that's what the whole thing is all about.
Yes.
Open up the conversation. Let's talk about it. All right, anything you want to add?
I have nothing to add.
All right, so we're about to get about this thing. It's your boy Have.
And your girl Jay.
And we gone.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.